Hey guys, welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to be helping you figure out what your theme is and then to empower that theme. Now, the most important aspect of empowering your theme you've already learned. It's like to use the emotional guidance system, to follow the breadcrumb trail of joy, to know that you're always already aware and perfect, to understand that you're not only a physical mind, but also a non-physical higher mind and a higher self. So you got all these tools already in the past lessons to empower your theme. So the most important aspect of this lesson is to actually sort of get into the theme exploration, to investigate, to become a little bit more clear on what is your overall direction for this life, what is your overall blueprint. So again, just to recapture a little bit, a theme is the blueprint which the higher mind or the non-physical mind is always intimately aware of and is always sort of not measuring you in terms of judging you, but gauging how you are doing in terms of whether it needs to nudge you a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right or guide you in some way specifically in order to sort of allow you to remain transparent and efficient in the exploration of your theme. So again, your theme can be viewed as this pre-birth, but I don't like time so much. So instead of pre-birth, let's say simultaneous to your physical walking this path as an incarnational physical mind, is the non-physical mind that has an intricate awareness of this blueprint, of this overarching soul intention for this life. And it's always gauging sort of where you're at and using the blueprint or your theme as the GPS to see whether you're off course, you need to take a little left, or you need to take a little right turn, etc. Makes sense, right? It's not too difficult to comprehend. It's like a GPS, like a map. So this is how the emotional guidance system is translated to you. The emotional guidance system is basically your non-physical mind communicating to you how much you are, in a sense, in alignment with your blueprint or theme for this life, your main primordial intention for this life, your primary intention for in what kind of a way to express infinity in this life that you are most suitably created for, specifically for that purpose. Don't get me wrong, this does not mean you're stuck in a very, very narrow pathway. You really do have a significant degree of free will as to how you go about executing and exploring that dream and that vision and that blueprint and that theme. But you have to understand that that's actually what you desired before you chose to have this life. So if you think differently about it now, in 99% of the cases, that's because you have learned certain habits and negative definitions that now make you feel like you don't want to do what you actually came here to do. But as soon as you clear out more and more of those definitions, you again become more and more in alignment with the spirit nature of your essence and of your theme. And your desires will once again be aligned with your truer, higher desires. And so then things will really take off for you and life will truly become the enjoyable flight that it is meant to be. Just listen to the emotional guidance system and your intuition, and together with all these aspects of your consciousness, with all these tools, you will find the most harmonious and exciting way to you and to you, in harmony with each other, to then explore this theme of consciousness in a unique way that only you can do. So how do you discover your theme? Now I want you to grab a piece of paper and I want you to write down, maybe make 2 columns if that makes it easier. And on one column, I want you to write down everything that you have access to in terms of what your highest vision and imagination and excitement for yourself is. Now that can be very abstract. So it might be, for example, maybe you're a school teacher, but you know that the school teacher aspect is just an aspect of your truer overall desire. What you really want is to perhaps teach the world enlightenment, or to share with planet Earth how they can live their lives joyfully and freely. And maybe the school teacher aspect is no longer the most exciting to you, but it's still kind of exciting because it's what you like to do. But you understand now that it was, in a sense, a lesser, not less valid then, but a smaller version of your truest desire. It was a smaller representation that you at the time had access to becoming. and had access in your vibrational field of intuiting and downloading, because you didn't know anything yet about spirit journeys and themes and enlightening the world. You just knew what excited you, and the closest representation that your higher mind could feed you at that time to your conscious mind, with all the constrictions that it had at the time that it no longer has now, was become a school teacher. This will train you to become a teacher, and then later on you will expand into actually sharing messages, just as I am, with the world. This is of course just an example. It doesn't have to apply to you in that way at all. Not everyone is meant to necessarily be a verbal teacher of enlightenment, although in some ways all of us, is my belief at this time, are here for a general shared theme of our collective theme, which is to brighten up this planet and to transform limitation into lack and negative definitions into positive ones. So to an extent, each of us has as part of their theme to be a teacher of enlightenment for everybody else. But this doesn't have to be in my form at all, in the way that I'm doing it. It can be through silence, it can be through art, it can be through a 9-to-5 job even in some cases. Most often not, but sometimes it can. So there's all these infinite ways to express this, but we do have a shared theme, which is always something in alignment with sharing greater light and brightness with the world. You're always teaching the world a higher vibration simply by being you and being the most exciting and aligned and intuitive version of you. If you do that, you will help the world. You will help the collective consciousness that all agrees to be part of this illusory play that we call planet Earth at this timing. You will naturally contribute. You will naturally be a teacher, even if you never utter a word about any of the things that I'm telling you here to another human being. So don't put labels on it, don't constrict what is possible for you, and don't ever judge that you're not being a teacher of enlightenment, because as soon as you are being in alignment with yourself, you are a radiator, you are an example of enlightenment. And so just follow your heart and find your unique expression of that as you go along, following the breadcrumb trail of excitement.